Hello everyone, welcome to Devs Assemble. In this video, we are going to talk about the data and the blocks stored in the blockchain. In traditional applications, we store data in a data store. It could be a file such as your spreadsheets or Word documents, or it could also be your database. Regardless of what type of data repositories we are using, we can have four types of data operations. They are called CRUD operations. That means we can create new record or create data. We can read the data back, which we have already created. We can also update or change our data, and that's very important. Of course, we can always delete the data as well. So these four operations are called CRUD operations. Now, blockchain is different. The only two operations that blockchain support are add and read. Blockchain doesn't support all of those CRUD operations discussed earlier because in order to have multiple copies of the data or blocks spread across lots of different locations and still maintain the integrity of the data, we don't want to add an extra complexity of updating the data across all locations. Wait, what about update and delete? Sorry, we can't do it in blockchain. Once you add the data in a blockchain, it always going to be there and you cannot change it and you can't get rid of it. So what happens if you add data and you realize that your data has changed? It could be an error or it could just be that the data has been updated. What that means is that you have to add the data again to the very end of the blockchain. So you have data that changed several times. You have three different copies of it or multiple copies. So what do we get? We get automatic history and auditing capability. That's the beauty of blockchain because now you have a record of when and where the data actually changed, what was the old version used to be, and so we can also always find out what was the earlier state of the data stored. So the blockchain is like one long ledger where the data is added and added and added. Let's take an example of a payment transaction to understand more on the block story. In reality, there's more to the blockchain than just a payment transaction, but they are the simplest to understand. Remember that anything you can store or put in a database can also be stored on the blockchain too. So, in this example, let's say Jack made a transaction of $100 to Rose. Now, in order to save this transaction on the blockchain, we first will collect all the transaction details. These transaction details or data are amount, which is $100 here, source and source and target of the transaction, which will be the account address of Jack and Rose respectively. Account address is same as your bank account number. It is unique to each account. We will learn more about this in later videos. So every time you make a transaction, your transaction data will be written or stored in a block. And then this block is going to be added at the very end of the blockchain. Since we basically have a chain of blocks over here, that's why we call it a blockchain. Alright, that's all for this video. In the next video, we are going to discuss more about the immutability of the blockchain. Blockchain is not really immutable, but it's effectively immutable. We are going to learn what and how it is. If you like the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.